Hi again, everybody, from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on the campus of Oregon State University in Corvallis, along with Thomas Rudolph, Casey Lavin, Andrew Henderson, Garrett Dworshak, Dale Hummel, Amy Weiss, and the rest of our crew tonight. This is Mike Parker welcoming you to the third and final game of the three-game series between the Corvallis Knights and Yakima Valley Pippins, rendered a rubber match thanks to the Knights pulling one out last night to even the series. The Knights will look to stay hot. The one loss and the stumble a couple of nights ago, notwithstanding, they bounced back to win last night. And they did so with a variety of contributions, one of which was particularly impressive, that of right-hander Frank Camarillo recording his first save with the Corvallis Knights. And as always, the pleasure each summer at these ball games and during the course of a Corvallis Knight season, the opportunity to get to know through conversation a little bit on our pregame shows members of the team each year. And for the first time this summer, even though I've enjoyed watching him work, his save occasions an opportunity to meet the big right-hander, Frank Camarillo, 6'4", 198-pounder out of Moreno Valley, California, down in the Riverside, California area. So not only will we talk to Frank about his outing last night, his growth and development this summer, getting beaten up in workouts by Coach Jung Jin Yoon. We'll hear all of that from Frank, get a little bit of his backstory growing up in Southern California, who he was a fan of, his journey to UCSB and to Corvallis. All of that coming up here in a moment. The Knights will head to Bend following this ball game, not immediately. They'll leave sometime tomorrow morning for Central Oregon and Vince Guenna Stadium in 3 games with the Bend Elks. But it's another home game tonight. It's a beautiful evening for baseball. A little bit breezier tonight right from the start. It'll be thus a little bit cooler as the game goes along. But now, very pleasant. Breezes blowing out to left center field on this 27th of July. Great to have you with us. The Corvallis Knights and Yakima Valley Pippins to settle the series. But up first, a conversation with big right-hander Frank Camarillo. That's coming up in 2. And then we'll get to the starting lineups in first pitch. Frank Camarillo in 2 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Knights wrapping up this 3-game series with Yakima Valley. It's the rubber game. The Knights responding well to seeing their winning streak end at 13 games, coming back, winning, and getting a save from my guest here on the pregame show, big right-hander Frank Camarillo, Moreno Valley, California, UCSB, and my first opportunity, Frank, to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. I've enjoyed watching you pitch, and it was fun to watch you last night. Let's start there. How did you feel about your command and the way you threw last night?
Yeah, knew there was a chance I could get in the ninth inning. Bo sent me out in the eighth. But, yeah, I was definitely nervous a little bit, ran out there. But as soon as I stepped on the rubber, had a focus. But, yeah, I feel like I attacked the zone. I had been struggling with that in the past, but definitely attacked. And, they kind of got themselves out a few times and then had that strikeout at the end.
Yeah. You feel like, Frank, if you say a little bit nervous, I don't know what you've done in your pitching life. We can talk a little bit about that, but that was a close situation where you were able to go out then and finish it in the ninth and get a save. How accustomed to you are to that kind of role in a ball game?
So, yeah, I didn't really pitch too much in Santa Barbara this year, so getting back on the mound has been fun, and just getting used to that adrenaline feeling again has been nice. But definitely in high school, I pitched in high-end positions like that, so a little accustomed, but definitely just a reminder of how intense these games can get.
Frank Camarillo, my guest, when you said you didn't pitch that much at UCSB this past spring, what was that, from your understanding, a function of in terms of the few opportunities you were given? But do you feel like there's a big opportunity next year, and what you're doing this summer kind of lays the foundation for being a big-time guy for Coach Checketts next year?
Yeah, definitely this summer is huge for me, prove what I've got and what I can do to Coach Checketts, and yeah, it'll hopefully help me land a spot in the fall and then continue on to the spring.
Does it matter what that spot is? Do you see yourself as a starter? Do you see yourself maybe as a back-end guy? Do you have a vision for yourself with the Gauchos next year?
Yeah, despite the start I had here, I'm going back to school and with the mindset of becoming a starter. I know my role here is a reliever, but I'd love to be there, and if you can't happen, I just want to come out.
Frank, in terms of getting to UCSB, Coach Checketts is a former Oregon State All-America here. We know and love him and admire him when he pitched for the Beavers. Tell me a little bit about how you got connected with him in that program.
Yeah, so I had transferred high schools, ended up in Raleigh High School, and was a CC coach previously RCC, so got you through there. And that same night, got a phone call from Coach Checketts saying he liked my stuff. He had seen several videos of me and wanted to get to know me, so had a few Zoom calls at the time due to quarantine. But yeah, that's kind of how we got in connection, and then from there on, I got an offer and ended up signing there.
When he talks about liking your stuff, it looked like it all played last night. Tell me what you've sort of been, trying to work on this summer, things that have developed a little bit for you, command of pitches maybe as the summer's gone along that you've appreciated.
Yeah, so coming into the summer, I definitely just wanted to get stronger mentally, and I feel like I'm doing that, especially in these intense moments. I've proven that I can handle. So yeah, I'm just trying to get stronger mentally, and then in the past few games, I've flashed the new changeup. That's been the new pitch for me. And, yeah, I'm just trying to prove that I can mix up pitches and I'm not just a fastball guy.
When you say the new changeup, is that something you've been tinkering with, working on for a while? Has Bo helped you develop it? Where did the change come from?
Yeah, initially came in with a fastball and a slider and decided that I needed that third pitch to become dominant. And Coach Uni and Coach Bo kind of showed me their different changeups, and I kind of mixed them both and ended up with the one I have now. And it's thankfully been working, and I hope to continue to improve it.
It looks like, as good as that pitch was in your fastball, if you pitch off, locating your fastball where you want it, your slider's big top. Do you feel like that can be your lights out pitch when you need it? Like you finished the game, I thought, with it last night.
Yeah, that last inning I had 3 back-to-back to the last batter. But, yeah, that's always been in my back pocket, my wipeout pitch. And, whenever I get a chance or whenever I see it from the catcher, that's my favorite pitch to throw. So, yeah.
You don't shake very often when you see that, and that was obvious last night. Frank, last couple of things. your opportunity here? You told us about getting to UCSB. How did the opportunity for the Knights come about?
Yeah, so I didn't have too much say in what I could do, but definitely Coach Checketts thought that this would be the best place for me to develop and get stronger. And thanks to Coach Uni, I'm definitely getting stronger, and he's been kicking my butt a little bit. But yeah, Coach Checketts advised me to come here, and he thought this is where I'd best develop. So it's kind of how I became acquainted with the Knights.
The common denominator in any pitcher I talk to is Coach Yoon kicks your guys' butts. From your perspective, Frank, what's that been like? Do you feel like it's, in the big picture, been really good for you?
Yeah, in the moment, it definitely sucks. But looking at the big picture, I can tell it's going to be beneficial. And last year, coming in out of high school, I definitely struggled in the physical standpoint, but hopefully when I go back to school this year, I'm ready to go.
Last thing, and that is your roots in Southern California. Did you grow up either a Dodger fan or an Angel fan, and are you right now, like the whole world is, an Ohtani fan? He throws a one-hitter and hits 2 homers on the same day. I mean, is he a guy you look up to him, and are there any players in the Southland that you grew up or teams you liked growing up?
Yeah, so growing up in Southern California, I mean, you're either a Padres, Dodgers, or an Angels fan. And my family's historically been a Dodgers fan, so I'm a Dodgers fan myself, and the reason I wear number 22 on my jersey is Clayton Kershaw.
Oh.
He's been my inspiration all my life, on and off the field, you know, with his charitable work, and then obviously great pitcher on the mound. So Dodgers fan, definitely.
Gotcha. Thanks for that backstory on Clayton. I appreciate that. Frank, it's been fun to watch your work. Good to meet you. Thanks for taking time here. Hope you're enjoying your summer in Corvallis, and it's been great to have you part of the Knights. Thanks for taking time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's Frank Camarillo. We've got the starting lineups in the first pitch in this rubber game. The Knights in Yakima Valley. The Knights trying to make it 2 in a row and get on another long, hot streak coming down the stretch. It's the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Well, as always, we've had a nice run-up to the first pitch to be delivered here in a moment by Miles Gostola for the Corvallis Knights. And we'll give you the lineup in just a moment for the Yakima Valley Pippins in this rubber game. But it was a real pleasure to see The Lebanon Warrior minor national team, the undefeated state champions in the state tournament, introduced on the field here before the game. Congratulations to that group of young men. Lebanon Warrior, the minor nationals, winning the state championship in summer ball this summer. After a big turnaround, they won just one game last year, stayed together, hung together, and had a wondrous summer, winning a state championship just 1 year later. Great turnaround, so congratulations to that group of young boys who had their moment in the sun introduced before the game just a few minutes ago. The starting lineup for the Yakima Valley Pippins, leading off and playing third base, Zach Blazak, and he's about to step in against Miles Gostola. Chris Clement batting second at shortstop. Jace Phelan hitting third, the DH. Miles' first pitch is a fastball high, and we're underway. Miles making his fourth appearance and third start, 13 innings, 13 hits, 8 walks, 10 strikeouts, a record of 1-1, an ERA of 2.07, the 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike to the left-hand hitting Blazak. The quick working Gostola back to the plate. The 1-1 pitch misses for ball 2, 2-1. Blazak at 244, a couple of homers and 21 runs batted in. The 2-1 pitch is in there for a strike, and that evens the count at 2-2 as we get underway. The Knights heading off to Bend tomorrow for 3 with the Elks at Vince Guenna Stadium. Gostola's 2-2 pitch, breaking ball in the turf. 3-2 the count. The cleanup hitter tonight for Yakima Valley, Blake Baltz catching. Josh Hankins batting fifth at second base. Tommy Eisenstadt hitting sixth at first base. The 3-2 pitch from Gostola, a ground ball to second. Tate Shamau is right there to scoop it up and throw to Ethan Hedges, and we're off to a good start. Miles Gostola retiring Zach Blazak. Chris Clement will be the hitter. Owen Egan batting seventh in left field for the Pippins, hitting eighth and playing center field. Good to see him back in the lineup. Connor Kincaid batting ninth in right field is Maxim Fullerton. And Peyton Graham, a right-hander out of Gonzaga, gets the start. Miles Gostola, the Knights' left-hander, also out of Gonzaga. Battle of Bulldogs here tonight. Gostola's first pitch in there for a strike to Chris Clement. The 0-1 pitch hit foul off first. This will carry towards the Omaha room stands. No balls and 2 strikes to Chris Clement with 1 out, nobody on. Chris at 210 with 12 runs batted in. Bright sunny evening with the wind blowing out to left center. Typical conditions these glorious Julys we get to experience together. The summer of the Knights again in the heart of it, and coming down the stretch. Another great experience with this group of young men for the community that loves their baseball here. The strike 2 pitch missing high, 0-2 to Clement. Miles comes back and misses with the off-speed breaking ball down and in to even the count at 2-2. Jace Phelan on deck. Miles Gostola to the plate. The 2-2 pitch hit foul down the right field line. The wind will push the ball and keep it closer to the field. In this case, Sam Stem not able to chase it down, but I think it did land on the field when it appeared, when it left the bat of Clement, to be destined for Casey corner. But the wind pushing everything out from right to left. Sam knows the territory well by now. The 2-2 pitch on the way, rolled slowly foul, up along third. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miles Gostola and Anson Arrows the battery tonight for the Knights. The Luke Shear era has ended with the Corvallis Knights as of today. The 2-2 fastball swung out and missed. Strike 3, 2 down. I mentioned that only in that we thought that Luke Shear, who was joining the club, had made a commitment to Cal Poly and had just joined the club, played 1 game here 2 nights ago, went 0 for 4. And Luke has been signed as an undrafted free agent. Will eschew his opportunity to go play for Coach Lee and Cal Poly. And Luke Shear, 1 game with the Knights, and is off to begin a professional career in the Pirates organization. So congratulations to Luke, and we hardly knew ye, that's for sure. Jace Phelan steps in and takes a strike from Miles Gazzola. Miles, with 2 outs and nobody on, comes back to the plate. Phelan, who blasted a 2-run home run last night, swings and misses. 0-2 the count. Ethan Hedges at first, Tate Shamau at second, Tai Yukamoto at short, Mason Lee at third, Ethan Hott in left, Phoenix Call in center, Sam Stam in right. Gazzola comes back to Phelan. The 0-2 breaking ball misses up and away. Phelan having a tremendous summer, leading the way for the Pippins in every category. Triple Crown kid, 319, that's tops, 6 homers, 39 RBIs. The 1-2 pitch lifted to left field. Ethan Hott going back, still going back. This carries off the middle of the 14-foot fence. Hott retrieves the ball after it bounces off and rolls back towards the infield. Hott played it well enough that Phelan is held to a long double. The kid is a good hitter. Those Triple Crown numbers are not to be sneezed at. They're legit. 319, 6 and 39 coming in. And on a 1-2 pitch against a left-hander, he's able to drive with power the ball the other way. Off the middle of the 14-foot fence, in left, pushed a little bit by the wind blowing in that direction, but struck well by Jace Phelan. And now Blake Baltz, the batter, trying to give the Pippins the early lead. Phelan getting his team leading 12th double and gets his lead. Tai Yukamoto in his ear. And the night shortstop, the pitch to the left-hand hitting Baltz misses down and away. Blake at 2:30. He's looking for his 9th run batted in. Incoming freshman to UCLA, Phoenix Call. Incoming freshman to the Bruins, playing center field today for the Corvallis Knights. The 1-0 pitch, breaking ball in the turf. The signing of Luke Shear to the Knights was intended to be a bit of a bolstering of the catching ranks for the Knights. Tyler Howard was hit by a pitch last night, and he has the stitch marks on his cheek and a shiner today to show for it. He told me that he's a little sore but can play and is available. A fly ball to left field in left center. Moving over is Phoenix Call, cutting in front of Ethan Hott to make the catch. So one incoming Bruin flies out to the other, and for Miles Gazzola, a good start. No runs, a hit. Phelan, a double off the left field fence, but is left stranded at second. And at the end of half an inning, Yakima Valley in this rubber match, nothing. The Knights coming up. We'll give you their lineup and see how they fare against Peyton Graham as we go to the bottom of the first, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Bottom of the first inning, Yakima Valley failed to score as the team settled the series tonight. 76 degrees, breezy, pleasant, but heading toward some cooler conditions. Amy Weiss tells me she brought a blanket. I have 2 long sleeve shirts. We're not quite there yet. We'll hold off as long as we possibly can. McKenna Kraft is also here tonight, making the trip down with Amy. McKenna saw Taylor Swift 5 years ago in concert. Our own intern Taylor was at Lumen Field this past weekend, one of 2 sold-out shows, and said it was just amazing. So good for Taylor, who's down on the field, involved in on-field promotions, giving thumbs up to the Taylor Swift show. Bottom of the first, Ethan Hott takes a fastball from Peyton Graham inside. Graham working lightning quick. Yeah, the 1-0 pitch, outside ball, 2. I got to go into maybe not Taylor Swift, but Leroy Van Dyke in the auctioneer song. 2-0 pitch fouled at the plate in the count, 2-1. You have it 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, make it 50, 55. The great Leroy Van Dyke in the auctioneer song. That's a little more my speed than the great work of Taylor Swift. 2 balls and a strike, bottom of the first, no score. Ethan Hott leading off in left field. Mason Lee batting second at third base. Hitting third in right field, Sam Stem. Ethan Hedges, the cleanup hitter at first base. Anson Arrows batting fifth and catching. Tate Shamau batting sixth at second base. Merritt Jones, the DH, hitting seventh. The pitch on the way misses a little bit high from the right-hander Peyton Graham to Ethan Hott. Ball 3, 3-1. And now the 3-1 pitch is high for ball 4. Graham puts both of his hands in the air as if to say where, and it's clear, at least from that sequence of pitches, a couple of things. Peyton Graham works very quickly as any pitcher I've seen in the West Coast League this summer, and that he's not going to get any help from the home plate umpire in terms of at least the pitch in the upper part, borderline high strikes. A couple of pitches he threw in that sequence could conceivably have been called strikes and weren't. Mason Lee, the batter, leadoff walk to Hott. Lee hits one foul over my head into Urchin Alley. No balls and 1 strike to Mason. Peyton Graham and Blake Baltz, the battery for the Pippins. Tommy Eisenstadt at first, Josh Hankins at second, Chris Clement at short, Zach Blazak at third. The strike 1 pitch fouled straight back by Mason, and the count 0-2. In the outfield for the Pippins, Owen Egan in left, Connor Kincaid in center, Maxim Fullerton in right. A leadoff walk to Ethan Hott. He's held on by Tommy Eisenstadt. 0-2 to Mason Lee. Graham set, the strike 2 pitch, misses just outside. Ball 1, 1-2. Graham has had a good summer. 30 1/3 innings. He's making his 3rd start and 14th appearance, allowed just 19 hits. 24 walks, a bit high, 32 strikeouts. The 1-2 breaking ball grounded slowly to short. Clement to Hankins for 1. Across the bag to first for 2. Mason Lee has doubled up the 6-4-3 double play ball. And Sam Stem will come to the plate. Peyton has put up good numbers, though. He's 3-1 with an ERA of 1.48 and a batting average against of just 183. But he had a bit of a up and down spring at Gonzaga. His first pitch to Sam Stem fouled back in the count 0-1. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the first, no score. In that, the strikeout numbers were high. The stuff appears to be plenty good. 13 appearances, 27 innings for Gonzaga baseball this past spring. But in those 27 innings, 33 strikeouts, 27 walks, 1 each inning. So the numbers are better in respect to that this summer. But that looks like, for him, the chance to really break through, get command of the zone. His 1-1 pitch to Sam Stem, tapped foul at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sam Stem. Sam had another big night last night. He's hitting .254, 4 homers, 33 runs batted in. He swings and misses. Nice recovery by Peyton Graham, the right-hander out of Kamiakin High School in Richland. He issues a leadoff walk, gets a double play ball, and ends up facing the minimum. And we are through 1. The Yakima Valley Pippins nothing, the Knights nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. No score as we move to the second inning. Josh Hankins takes high and inside from left-hander Miles Gostola. Miles, also a quick worker, comes back with a 1-0 pitch, popped up on the right side. A chance for Ethan Hedges, backpedaling into foul territory and then across the line into fair territory to make the catch. Again, that was played with by the wind. Started out foul, pushed back fair, and Ethan Hedges backpedaling all the while. Stayed with it. Good play to make the catch. One away, Josh Hankins, who had a good ball game last night, pops out to open the second. Tommy Eisenstadt, the hitter. The left-hander Gostola ready to go to the left-hand hitting Eisenstadt. He swings and drives it to left field. Ethan Hott finds the ball in the sun and then goes back to make the catch. Ethan, for a moment, looked as though he was scuffling a bit to locate the ball, but once he did, took a couple of quick steps back in retreat towards the track and hauled it in. 2 down. Nice play. A couple of good plays to open the second. And Owen Egan, the batter. Gostola to the plate. Breaking ball, strike. 0-1 the count. Miles with a batting average against of .277. The southpaw kicks and comes back with the 0-1 pitch. Off speed, swung on and missed. And he's quickly ahead to Owen Egan. No balls and 2 strikes. Egan hitting .250. Takes the strike 2 pitch down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. 2 outs, nobody on in the second. No score. A good crowd again on hand on this Thursday night. A 1-2 pitch is a fly ball to center field. Phoenix Call lays out, sliding onto his chest and makes the catch to retire the side. 3 good defensive plays in the inning. And a nice job by Gostola to pitch to contact and use his defense. Ethan Hedges, Ethan Hott, and Phoenix Call. And down go the Pippins in the second in order. After 1.5, Yakima Valley nothing, the Knights nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. No score, bottom of the second inning. Peyton Graham, working at lightning quick pace, delivers a 1-1 pitch, rolled slowly up along third. Blazak bare hands, throws to first, not in time. Ethan Hedges beats it out. Good hustle down the line by Ethan, an infield single. And that'll bring to the plate Anson Arrows. Good to see my daughter Lydia and Jimmy arrived tonight here at the ballpark. They gave me a quick wave. Their first night's game this summer, so it's good to have them in the ballpark enjoying this Thursday United Way night, Calapooya Brewing Thirsty Thursday. The night presented by United Way of Lynn, Benton, and Lincoln counties, and Calapooya Brewing with a $4 beverage special going on in the ballpark. Anson Arrows looks at Brooke Knight before stepping in and golfs the first pitch off to the left and out of play. No balls and 1 strike. No score, bottom of the second. A leadoff infield single for Ethan Hedges, held on by Tommy Eisenstadt. Peyton Graham set. Anson bunts up along third. It's a great bunt, barehanded by Baltz. He does throw to first to get his opposite number. But the bunt put in a spot that made it, for a moment, appear as though Anson might have himself a base hit. Good play by his counterpart. Baltz throws out arrows. One away. The sacrifice works. Ethan Hedges into second base. For the Knights, their 32nd sacrifice bunt of the season. And just by comparison, the Yakima Valley Pippins have 7. The Knights run, they bunt, they do a lot of things that they emphasize. Very few clubs with those same kinds of numbers in this league. The first pitch, Tate Shamau swings and misses. No score, bottom of the second. Peyton Graham comes back with the 0-1 pitch, a soft liner into left field for a base hit. Brooke Knight will put a stop sign up at third base for Ethan Hedges. The throw, though, gets through the cutoff man and allows Tate Shamau to go to second. So the Knights take advantage of a little sloppiness defensively. Owen Egan's throw coming back in off the glove of Zach Blazak. Trickling away from Zach back towards the plate, and heads up base running by Shamau. He's able to take second. And Merritt Jones, the designated hitter, the batter. Time called for a moment by the home plate umpire. Peyton Graham, as always, ready to go. The home plate umpire had to, hey, slow it down a little bit. Now everybody's ready. Peyton delivers to Jones, and Merritt decides late. Swings through the fastball. 0-1 the count. No score. Bottom of the second inning, but the Knights with a good opportunity. Graham works from the stretch, the infield at normal depth. The strike one fastball just missed. Blake Baltz holding the pitch up, hopefully, but did not get the call. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ethan Hedges at third, Tate Shamau at second. Peyton Graham to the plate. Fastball runs down and in. Ball 2. 2-1 to Merritt. Jones looking forward to being a two-way player for Gary Henderson next spring in Salt Lake City. Trying to be a good two-way guy for the Knights right here. He pitched well in the series opener here Tuesday. The 2-1 pitch, fastball swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. Tyler Quinn still nursing a bit of a sore hand and is available to pinch hit, but Coach Knight, who is coaching down at third, Ed Nags at first. The coaches are hoping that Tyler can get healed up. The 2-2 pitch missing down and in to Merritt for ball 3. Phoenix call on deck. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Merritt Jones. Runners at second and third, 1 out in the bottom of the second, no score. Peyton Graham working from the stretch, comes to the plate, swung on and fouled back. Nice job by Merritt, getting a piece of a pitch to stay alive. 3-2 the count. Graham with a new baseball to work with comes set again. Hedges at third, Shamau at second. The 3-2 pitch taps slowly towards the third baseman, Blazak. He fakes a throw to first, hoping to have gotten Hedges trapped. Hedges alertly went back to third, and on the fake, Blazak cost himself an out. He thought that by faking the throw, he would have Hedges breaking towards the plate, and thus would have him dead to rights. And a pretty aggressive move on Hedges' part to at least induce that kind of move. And now with the bases loaded and nobody out, Phoenix call, 1 out, pardon me. Phoenix call the batter. Phoenix takes low, ball 1, 1-0. Merritt Jones aboard on the fielder's choice with the bases loaded. The pitch is stroked into right field, base hit. Ethan Hedges will score. Stopping at third base on the play is Tate Shamau. An RBI single the other way for Phoenix call, and the Knights lead it 1-0. Nice piece of hitting by Phoenix. He went down and got it and sent it the other way. The pitch was down and away, and Phoenix went with the pitch to pick up the RBI. Phoenix had an RBI double last night. The Knights lead it 1-0, have the bases loaded and one out. Tai Yukamoto takes the first pitch just outside, ball one, 1-0. Graham again ready to go. Fastball swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Graham again ready to go, and Yukamoto needs a second or two after swinging and missing. Now, this is the fastest working kid I've seen. Again, give me Leroy Van Dyke. Find him in there and cue him up and have him in the background, please. Pitch down and away, ball 2-1. On deck is Ethan Hott. I like it, and the players love playing behind a pitcher who works quickly. There's no question about that. The 2-1 pitch bounces, and the count 3-1 to Tai Yukamoto. 1-0 Knights. Bottom of the second inning, bases loaded, one out. The infield at double play depth. Peyton Graham back to the plate with a 3-1 pitch. Fouled at the plate, and the count 3-2. A run across, and the Knights looking to separate here early with the bases full and one out. Graham's 3-2 pitch to Yukamoto, taken low and away. Ball 4 to force in a run. Tate Shamau down the line from third, 2-0 Knights. The bases remain loaded for leadoff hitter Ethan Hott. Ethan drew a walk last inning. Now at the plate with a chance to do some big damage. The first pitch to him is in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. Ethan at 298, 24 runs batted in, tied for the team lead in stolen bases. He swings and hits one high in the air to right center field and deep, and the ball carries over Connor Kincaid's head all the way to the base of the fence. Merritt Jones scores. Right behind him to score is Phoenix Call, and Tai Yukamoto right behind Phoenix crosses the plate on a 3-run triple for Ethan Hott. The Knights lead it 5-0. Ethan Hott's first triple is a gigantic one for the Knights, creating the big inning that they have been coveting throughout this series. They came up short of it and lost on Tuesday. Had a reasonably good offensive output last night, but still left some runners stranded in clutch situations. But today, here in the second, a leadoff single to begin the inning off the bat of Ethan Hedges, an infield slow roller, and the Knights have taken off since then. Merritt Jones, Phoenix Call, and Tai Yukamoto all scoring on the triple by Ethan Hott, and now Mason Lee the batter. 5-0 Knights in the second. Pitching coach Landon Shire out for a conversation with Peyton Graham. The strike one pitch runs high and inside. 1-1 to Mason, who grounded into a double play last inning. Graham has pitched extremely well this summer, so the Knights have gotten after a guy with an ERA under 2. A line drive to right field. Fullerton started in. Now he finds the ball, makes the catch. Tagging is Ethan Hott, and Hott scores on the sacrifice fly by Mason Lee. The Knights lead it 6-0. Now the Knights couldn't have drawn it up a whole lot better. They've scored 6 in the inning. And Sam Stem, the ninth man to come to the plate. We'll try to get things restarted now with 2 down. Peyton delivers. Sam takes low, ball 1. Sam struck out in the first. 6-0 Knights in the second. Peyton ready, back to the plate with a 1-0 change, lifted to shallow left center field. Owen Egan on the move, on the run, and the ball pops in and out of his glove. And Owen Egan, with a good effort, not able to make the catch. It's a base hit for Sam Stem. And the guy that got it all started will get another opportunity here in the inning. Ethan Hedges to the plate. The Knights now with 6 runs on 5 hits. The key blow, the 3-run triple from Ethan Hott. Sam Stem with a bloop single to left. Good effort by Owen out in left field. And now Ethan Hedges swings at the first pitch and doesn't get it. 0-1 the count. The strike one pitch, slap foul to the right and out of play off the top of the Omaha room roof. 0-2 the count to Ethan. The Knights executing the game very well here in the inning, and it certainly is reflected on the scoreboard. 6-0 in the second. Breaking ball in the turf. Nice block by Blake Balls. 1-2 the count. When you visit Corvallis to catch Knights baseball, we encourage you to stay at Best Western Corvallis with the largest hotel rooms in the city and an outdoor heated pool. Wherever life takes you, Best Western is there. Breaking ball misses, and the count 2-2 strikes to Ethan Hedges. Sam Stem at first, 2 down, 6-0 in the second inning. Fastball low, ball 3, 3-2. Good base running by Tai Yukamoto on the hot triple. He read it well and was able to score from first on the fly ball to right center. The pitch goes to the backstop, and Sam Stem is going to go to third. Sam was going on the pitch. The throw to third. Sam gets in. So on ball 4, Sam Stem with a stolen base and goes to third on the wild pitch with Ethan Hedges drawing the walk. And Anson Arrows back to the plate for the second time in the inning. Another contribution made by Pape Material Handling and All Pro Property Services to Community Outreach, Inc. on that stolen base. Community Outreach, Inc. one step closer to home. Anson Arrows with a sacrifice earlier in the inning to help fuel this big uprising. Now looking to hit away with runners at the corners and 2 down. Swings at the first pitch and doesn't get it. The breezes are picking up considerably here now in the bottom of the second inning. Commensurate with the Knights' attack, also picking up in high gear. 6 runs in the inning and looking for more. The switch hitting Arrows takes the strike one pitch from Graham outside, and the count 1-1. There is no one throwing in the Yakima Valley bullpen. This one kind of got away from Peyton in a hurry. His changeup, a good one, in there for a strike, and the count to Anson at 1-2. And it's early enough that Graham may just have to kind of take a couple of more innings for the team. The pitch on the way to Arrows, lifted foul off third, heading Waldo away. The count remains 1-2. Pitchers are known. It's out of hand in a sense here in the second. 6-0 Knights. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Shohei Ohtani's day today brought to mind the career of Portland's own Rick Wise. The 1-2 breaking ball hit foul off third. Shohei Ohtani today became the only pitcher since 1900, other than Rick Wise, to pitch a 1-hit or less game and hit 2 homers on the same day. That's a category of 2 since 1900. Shohei Ohtani and Portland's Rick Wise. Arrows swings and misses, and the inning is over. But what an inning it was for the Knights. There's more on the Wise front that I will share along the way today with Shohei, the incredible, bringing Wise to mind and in storylines going out across the nation today for his brilliant day in Detroit. A good inning for the Corvallis Knights. They score 6 runs, and at the end of 2, it's the Knights 6 and the Pippins nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. 6-0 Knights as we move to the third. Connor Kincaid, the son of Mike Kincaid, the all-time hits leader at Washington State. Swings at the first pitch and doesn't get it from Miles Gostola. The 0-1 pitch hit foul to the right and out of play, and the count quickly 0-2 to Connor Kincaid. Maxim Fullerton on deck, Zach Blazak to follow. Miles Gostola staked to a 6-run lead as we go to the third. The lefty's strike 2 pitch misses high, ball 1, 1-2. Gostola working the third base side of the slab. The lefty to the plate. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. Connor Kincaid hit by a pitch in the opener here Tuesday. Missed yesterday's game. Strikes out in his first plate appearance today. The second strikeout for Gostola, who's retired 5 straight. Maxim Fullerton, the left-handed hitter, the batter. Gostola also setting a quick tempo. Delivers the fast one high, ball 1, 1-0. Left on left encounter here in the top of the third. The 1-0 pitch fouled to the left of the McGrath family press box and over the grandstand, out of play. 1-1 the count. I'm grateful certainly that we are witnessing the miracle, the phenomenon that Shohei Ohtani is. Having one of the greatest seasons in the history of the sport this year, and he did 2 years ago too. The 2-1 fastball swung on and missed in the count 2-2, throwing a 1-hit complete game shutout today. His first complete game as a pitcher. That was today in Detroit in game 1 of a doubleheader. The 2-2 pitch, flailed at, foul tip, strike 3. Held by Ansoneros. Back-to-back punch-outs for Gostola to open the third. 2 down, Zach Blazak, the batter. And then in game 2 of the doubleheader, Ohtani, after pitching the complete game, says to Phil Nevin, he says, "I'm good to go," and he just kind of calls his own shots. It depends how he feels. After pitching a full game, you would think, well, he's going to ice the arm, shut it down. The first pitch missing to Zach Blazak, ball 1, 1-0. But he said, "No, Coach, Skip, I'm ready to go. Put me in, Coach. I'm ready to play." And he hit 2 homers in game 2. Unbelievable. The 1-0 pitch, a ground ball wide of first into shallow right field, knocked down by Shimau, but no play. Zach Blazak aboard on the single into shallow right field, and Chris Clement, the batter. Zach opened the game by grounding out to Shimau. Tate got a little leather on it, but not able to make a play. Chris Clement struck out in the first. 6-0 Knights in the top of the third inning. But all of the exploits of the great Shohei Ohtani leading to the name of Rick Wise getting mentioned a bit today in the stories that I'm sure many of you saw. First pitch is swung on and missed. It's a wild pitch down on the turf, and Zach Blazak scoots into second. 0-1 the count. Trying to account for the day, and Wise's name came up. Again, only 2 players since 1900 have pitched a 1-hitter or less. Wise threw a no-hitter at Riverfront Stadium on June 23rd of '71. A throw to second base with Blazak standing on the bag. The throw goes to Tate Shimau. No balls and a strike, meanwhile, to Chris Clement. Rick went to Madison High School in Portland, played for Portland in the Little League World Series in 1958. Great connections to the Beaver State. Breaking ball down and in from Gostola. The count 1-1 to Chris Clement. 6-0 Knights in the third. One of the great days in the history of the game. Wise, June 23rd of '71, no hit. The Big Red Machine. Pete Rose made the final out, and on that day, Wise hit 2 homers in his no-hitter. The 1-1 pitch on the inside corner for a strike, and the count 1-2. But because Wise was on the mind, I looked him up a little further, and I never knew this. Later that season, actually a couple of years later, Rick Wise in a ball game retired 32 batters in a row and had a walk-off single. The pitch on the way from Gostola, swung on and missed, strike 3 to retire the side. Miles strikes out the side in the third and has 4 strikeouts in the game. That's a pretty good run, retiring 32 straight, and wins the game, does Rick, with a base hit. So Shohei Ohtani, the phenom, bringing to mind a guy who had a lot of special qualities in his own right, the state of Oregon's own Rick Wyatt. We go to the bottom of the third, the Knights 6 and the Pippins nothing on the Knights live stream in 1240 Joe Radio. Right-hander Peyton Graham roughed up a bit last inning, giving up 6 runs and 5 hits. Falls behind quickly here in the bottom of the third to Tate Shamau. 3 balls and no strikes on his 2-0 offering. He thought he had thrown a strike to Tate, turns his back on home plate, climbs back up, and now does deliver a 3-0 pitch for strike 1. 3-1 to Shamau, who last inning singled and scored in the 6-run frame. The 3-1 pitch is in there, strike 2. 3-2 to Tate. Merritt Jones on deck. Phoenix Cole to follow. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball hit high in the air to left and pretty deep. Owen Egan drifting back to the warning track. A step or two from the fence between the Peoria Road Farm Market and the Honeycomb Salon sign. Makes the catch. Well struck by Shamau, but a long out to open the bottom of the third. Merritt Jones, the batter. Merritt aboard on a fielder's choice last inning, and it was an interesting choice by Zach Blazak. Ground ball to third. He would have had an out on had he made an accurate throw to first. He pump faked over to first, hoping to catch Ethan Hedges breaking from third to home. Well, Ethan was heading back to third, and both runners ended up being safe, and that helped open the door to the 6-run frame. The strike 1 pitch to Merritt Jones swung on and missed in the count 0-2. Peyton Graham delivers, and the strike 2 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. 2 down. Quickly. Phoenix Cole got the Knights going with an opposite field single to right, in that his base hit was the first to drive in a run, and now he swings and strokes at the center field, base hit. Phoenix Cole getting locked in offensively coming down the stretch. Solid single to center field. He's 2 for 2. And with the Knights leading 6-0, Tai Yukamoto will come to the plate and try to keep things going with a 2-out rally. Phoenix Cole likely will look to break on Peyton Graham. Phoenix, a good athlete, goes on the first pitch, which is outside. The throw to second is high, and Phoenix Cole is in with another stolen base. And another contribution from Papay Material Handling and All Pro Property Services to Community Outreach Inc. Another $10 in the coffers to help Community Outreach Inc. in their One Step Closer to Home program, and now a balk called on Peyton Graham. Things happen quickly when Peyton Graham's at work. 2 quick outs, a base hit, a stolen base, a balk, just like that. Phoenix call is at third with 2 away. Tai Yukamoto trying to drive in the Knights' 7th run here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Graham will work from the windup. The 1-0 pitch, fastball in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Now the 1-1 pitch misses for ball 2. 2-1. Yukamoto drew a walk and scored last inning. The 2-1 pitch swung on and hit foul to the left. 2-2 the count. Phoenix call walking down the line from third. The 2-2 pitch is high. Ball 3. 3-2. Thank you, Lydia. Lydia taking care of me. A little popcorn there on the fan. The 3-2 pitch is ball 4. Tai Yukamoto draws the walk, his second free pass. And that'll bring to the plate Ethan Hott, the leadoff hitter. Ethan has walked and had the big blow last inning, a 3-run triple. Comes to the plate now looking to get another RBI. Runners at the corners, 2 down, 6-0 Knights in the 3rd. First pitch is high from Peyton. Ball 1, 1-0. The Knights leadoff hitter tonight, Ethan Hott, awaits. The 1-0 pitch to Ethan, just outside, ball 2, 2-0. Graham's a little frustrated with, again, what I thought early was a tight zone. Now he's in a wind-up pose, not in the stretch. He steps off, did not balk. He did step off, but he seems a bit addled at the moment by the proceedings here as the inning's gone along. He's going to get out of it, though. Ethan Hott, a fly ball to right center. Connor Kincaid moves over to make the catch. The inning is over. The Knights threaten with 2 down and nobody on, but leave 2, and at the end of 3, the Knights 6 and Yakima Valley nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Through 3 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field in this rubber match, the Knights 6 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Yakima Valley, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Jace Phelan, who has one of the hits, a blast off the middle of the left field fence in the first inning, takes inside from Miles Gostola. The 1-0 pitch is low and in, ball 2. Miles struck out the side last inning. He has 4 strikeouts on the evening. We're in the 4th. 6-0 Corvallis. Gostola nodding yes to Ansoneros. The 2-0 pitch taken for a strike. Gastola and Arrows the battery. Ethan Hedges at first. Tate Shamau at second. Tai Yukamoto at short. Mason Lee at third. Ethan Hott in left. Phoenix Call in center. Sam Stem in right. The 2-1 pitch, a ground ball to short. Juggled by Yukamoto. Tai stays with it and throws Phelan out. One away. Blake Baltz will be the hitter. Blake flied to center field in the first. Good crowd enjoying the Calapooya Brewing Thirsty Thursday. I can see that looking around the ballpark. Coming down the stretch of Knights home games, only 3 in the regular season left after tonight. So we hope if you haven't been out yet, or if you want to get out again, we encourage you to do so. 3 home games left. The first pitch missing to Blake Baltz, ball 1. The fastball now from Miles in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. A week from tomorrow night will be a bobblehead night. It's called here, it says on my literature, Mike Parker bobblehead night. The 1-1 pitch to Gastola in there for strike 2. Presented by Even Flow Plumbing. A fireworks show then the following night, Saturday the 5th, and the final home game of the regular season, Sunday, August 6th, Fan Appreciation Day. Presented by Summit Cleaning and Restoration and Access Electric. So make your plans to join us as the Corvallis Knights come down the stretch of yet what has been another tremendous season. They're hoping to finish strong, play their way into the playoffs. It'll be Ridgefield in during that weekend series. At home, we're in Bend this weekend, in Portland during the midweek. Fastball from Gastola, swung on and missed, strike 3, 2 down. Miles pitching very well tonight. He is a young man that I also hope to have an opportunity to converse with about his career, his summer with the Knights, his time at Gonzaga. 6'3", 190-pounder, pitching a very intelligent game, changing the eye level for hitters. He struck out Blake Baltz with a fastball, an elevated one, moving the ball up and down, in and out, pitching effectively. Pitching, in other words. The pitch to Josh Hankins fouled into Urchin Alley to the right, 0-1 the count. 2 down, nobody on in the fourth. 6-0 Knights. Gastola back to the plate, the strike 1 pitch. Some bargaining going on with one of the Urchins who just came up with a baseball in Urchin Alley. I heard a young man to my right say, "I'll give you a bag of Doritos for that baseball." Whether they come to an exchange or not, I don't know. Gastola delivers just inside, ball 3. That's a tight zone, and Peyton Graham would say with Eddie Arnold, "Welcome to my world." The 3-1 pitch on the way from Gastola, hit sharply back up the middle into center field past the diving Tate Shamau. A 2-out single for Josh Hankins, his 3rd hit of the series in the last 2 nights, and the batter will be Tommy Eisenstadt, who flied to left field in his first at-bat. First Alternative Co-op is your community-owned grocery store, providing fresh, local, and organic groceries since 1970. The Co-op makes it easy for you and your family to buy local and eat healthy. First pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. Be sure to stop by the Co-op's deli. Enjoy their fresh brewed coffee, their house-made pastries, their delicious salad bar, and much more. Everyone is welcome at the First Alternative Co-op. 0-1 to Eisenstadt. Tommy tried to check his swing, but he went around in the count 0-2. Owen Egan, the on-deck hitter. 6-0 Knights in the fourth in this rubber game. Shortstop Tai Yukamoto playing the left-hand hitting Eisenstadt up the middle. A gaping hole on the left side for Tommy. He takes just outside. And the count 1-2 to Eisenstadt. A battle of Bulldogs right here. Eisenstadt from Gonzaga going up against Miles Gastola, also with the Zags. The left-hander's 1-2 pitch. Fastball just outside. Ball 2, 2-2. Miles has 5 strikeouts. He hasn't walked anybody. He's really looked sharp. Has a 6-0 lead to work with. Comes to the plate. Breaking ball grounded sharply into center field for a base hit. Rounding second is Josh Hankins. He will get to third. So Yakima Valley, with 2 outs and nobody on, gets back-to-back base hits. Runners at the corners and Owen Egan to the plate. That is one of the things I've been very impressed with. This ball game, with 6 runs scored by the Knights in the second, almost had the look of being out of hand at that point. But we have seen the Pippins through the first 2 games. No matter what the Knights do, they just keep swinging. And here they are now trying to get back in the game with a run or 2 right here. With 2 outs and nobody on. Back-to-back singles give them a look. Owen Egan takes high and inside. Ball 1, 1-0. First and third, 2 down, 6-0 Knights, but Yakima Valley threatening here in the 4th. Fastball for a strike from Miles, and the count 1-1. Gostola out of West Seattle High School. That's Tom Hewitt country. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Pulled fair down the left field line. It's a fair ball. Josh Hankins scores. Tommy Eisenstadt will too. And pulling into second base is Owen Egan with a 2-run double. So it's now the Knights 6 and the Pippins 2. And here they come again. This is a resilient club. And the Knights have had their hands full the entire series. And even though their lead is still fairly comfortable, it's been trimmed from 6-0 to 6-2 with another runner in scoring position in Connor Kincaid. Gostola trying now to minimize damage and keep the lead in a fairly comfortable state. Comes to the plate and it's sprayed foul to the right above the netting near the Yakima Valley dugout. No balls and a strike to Connor. A 2-out, 2-run double for Owen Egan. 6-2 Knights. The strike 1 pitch coming from Gostola. That's in there for strike 2. So Miles is a strike away from keeping the lead at 4. But a good job by the Pippins with 2 outs and nobody on. 3 straight hits. Miles ready. The left-hander glances back, comes to the plate. Fastball in there. Strike 3 called to retire the side. 6 strikeouts for Miles Gostola. But the Pippins with 2 outs and nobody on get a couple of hits and a 2-run double. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Knights 6 and the Pippins 2 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Right-hander Peyton Graham hoping to have a little Rick Wise in him tonight. In that Wise in that game I referenced when he retired 32 in a row. The first 7 hitters he gave up 3 hits and 4 runs. Then he got better. Retired 32 straight and won the game with a base hit in the bottom of the 12th. Peyton Graham still out there. His team has helped him draw to within 6-2. He's 3-0 though on Mason Lee. The 3-0 fastball, Mason taking all the way in there for a strike. 3-1 the count. Bottom of the 4th, 6-2 Knights. Mason Lee, Sam Stem, and Ethan Hedges. The 3-1 pitch, low, ball 4. Peyton Graham issuing a leadoff walk. I'm trying to see through the glare provided by the sun on the fence out and left to see if Landon Shire, Coach Crustangel, might have somebody throwing in the bullpen. I think not. I don't believe anybody is throwing for the Pippins. Peyton Graham delivers to Sam Stem. It's a high pop foul off third. This one lands in the upper grandstand above the Riley Concourse on the left. 0-1 to Sam, who has struck out and singled to left field. 6-2 Knights, bottom of the 4th inning. A leadoff walk to Mason Lee. Peyton from the stretch delivers. Sam swings and fouls that to the left and out of play. The accent on Gonzaga's program here tonight with another Gonzaga Bulldogs matchup on display. Peyton Graham working on Sam Stem with a count of no balls and 2 strikes. Peyton has gone all the way, rocky at times, but he's still out there. He fires and misses outside. 1-2 the count. Sam, a little hip wiggle out of the box before stepping back in. Part of his routine. He swings at a change and misses. Strike 3. Good pitch from Peyton. Graham had a bit of an ordeal in the 2nd inning, giving up the 6 runs, but he's a good-looking pitcher. That was an excellent pitch he just made to Sam Stem. And between Graham and Gazzola and Sam Stem and the talent that we've seen around the West Coast League and what we see year in and year out with Coach Macdolph's program, they'll bounce back from an unusual year this year, an off year. They'll be back next season for sure. Ethan Hedges takes high and inside. The 1-0 breaking ball from Peyton down and away, ball 2. 2-0. Ethan, an infield single in the 2nd and scored the first of 6 runs. Walked as well in the 2nd. We're in the 4th, 6-2 Knights. Fastball up, ball 3, 3-0. Hanson Arrows on deck. Some stirring around begins now in the Pippins bullpen for the first time tonight. 3 balls and no strikes. Peyton Graham from the stretch comes to the plate. The 3-0 fastball in there for a strike, and the count 3-1. Mason Lee drawing the leadoff walk, gets his lead held on by Eisenstadt. Peyton's 3-1 pitch with Lee going is high and inside for ball 4. 2 walks in the inning, 5 in the ball game for Peyton, so that continues to be his biggest issue. It was this past spring, and it is now. But his stuff is good when he's filling up the zone. Has a chance to be very good. Certainly hope for his sake that he's able to kind of get all of that good stuff harnessed on a more consistent basis. Hanson Arrows, the batter, swings at the first pitch and hits it foul to the left and out of play. Hanson is sacrificed and struck out. Bottom of the 4th, 6-2 Knights. Mason Lee at second, Ethan Hedges at first, Hanson Arrows at the plate. Activity has begun in the Pippins bullpen. The right-hander Peyton Graham comes back with the 0-1 pitch, high, and the count 1-1. The Knights at Vince Guenna Stadium in Bend over the weekend. We'll be with you tomorrow night on The Bend Elks live stream carried on 1240 Joe Radio. 6:35 tomorrow, 6:35 on Saturday, 5:05 on Sunday. The 1-1 pitch to Anson is high and away. Ball 2, 2-1. A right-hander is loosening. It's Zach Elvey, back of Peyton Graham. Peyton's 2-1 pitch to Anson Arrows. Anson out in front. Swings and fouls it into the entry area of the ballpark. Kids give chase as the count pulls even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Left fielder Owen Egan shading the sun with his throwing hand, his right hand. The 2-2 pitch to Arrows, slap foul. It's tough this time of the night, no doubt. Arrows stays alive, 2-2. Tate Shamau on deck. 2 on, 1 out. 2 walks in the inning. The Pippins serving notice they're not capitulating tonight, getting 2 runs in the top of the inning. The Knights trying to come back. The 2-2 pitch just misses for ball 3. Jonathan Stone heading down to the Corvallis Knights bullpen. He may be first up here tonight. 3-2 to Arrows. We'll see about the running game here, whether Brooke Knight might send. He's got 2 good runners in Lee and Hedges. 3-2 to Anson. Peyton Graham out of the stretch. The runners do go. The 3-2 off-speed pitch rolled slowly up along first, fielded by Eisenstadt. Takes it to the bag, rounding third, and coming around to score, Ethan Hedges. Heads up base running, and the Knights lead it 7-2. The advantage of starting the runners 3-2. The little dribbler up along first took a long time to get to Eisenstadt. Tommy turned his back on home plate to go tag the bag. And when he did, Hedges came wheeling around third. Excellent base running. And scores on the RBI ground out for Anson Arrows. 7-2 Knights. Or pardon me, Mason Lee coming in to score with Ethan Hedges. Great base running by Lee. Hedges to third. The strike 1 pitch is in there for strike 2 to Tate Shamau. 0-2 the count. My apologies. It was Shamau, or pardon me, Lee, going from second on the 3-2 pitch and scores on a ground out to first. Excellent base running by Mason Lee. The strike 2 pitch from Peyton Graham down and away. Peyton working out of the windup. 7-2 Knights in the 4th. The 1-2 pitch is low. Ball 2. 2-2 to Tate, who has singled to left and flied to left. Mason Lee, a burst of speed going on a 3-2 pitch and scoring on an infield ground out. The 2-2 pitch on the way in the turf. Ball 3, 3-2. Zach Elvey continues to throw. This will be Peyton's final inning of work, regardless of what ends up unfolding here. The 3-2 pitch runs down and in. That may have been his final batter. Tate Shamau draws ball 4. The 3rd walk in the inning. 7 issued in the game for Peyton. Runners at the corners and 2 down. Merritt Jones, the designated hitter, the batter. Merritt struck out on 3 pitches the last time he stood in, so that may give a reason for Peyton to see another hitter. 7-2 Knights in the 4th. Jones takes outside, ball 1, 1-0. Ethan Hedges at third base. Tate Shamau at first, 2 down and a run in. 7-2 Corvallis in the 4th in this rubber game. The pitch on the way, runs inside, ball 2, 2-0. Phoenix call the on-deck hitter. Peyton Graham trying to locate the zone and get out of this with only the 1 run across, but he misses very badly on the 2-0 pitch. Ball 3, 3-0 to Merritt. I can't imagine if he issues another ball 4 that he would carry on any longer tonight. 3 balls and no strikes. Peyton trying to keep himself in the ball game with this pitch right here. A 3-0 pitch, and he does. Fastball for a strike, and the count 3-1. First and third, 2 down, a run in. 7-2 Knights in the fourth. A throw to first base, and back to the bag steps Tate Shamau. 3-1 to Merritt Jones. Phoenix call 2 for 2 on deck. The 3-1 pitch very high to load him up. 4 walks in the inning issued by Peyton Graham. Phoenix call strides to the plate, and that's going to do it for young Peyton Graham. The Knights scoring 6 runs on him in the second. They've picked up 1 here in the fourth. They have the bases loaded and 2 down. We've got a in-game pitching change, mid-inning pitching change break. So we'll take a 2-minute inning pitching change. Zach Elvey coming in to replace Peyton Graham. Bases loaded, 2 out, 7-2 Knights in the fourth. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Zach Elvey from New South Wales, Australia, and Cochise College in southern Arizona, goes to work with the bases loaded. 2 outs, bottom of the fourth. Elvey's first pitch missing to Phoenix call. Ball 1. Peyton Graham's night finally coming to an end. 4 walks issued in the inning. But all things considered, if Elvey's able to get the final out, that's not a bad outcome given. 4 free passes in the frame. The 1-0 pitch from Elvey misses for ball 2. Zach making his 5th appearance. 14 in the 3rd innings, 19 hits, 11 runs all earned, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, a record of 0-1. And an ERA of 6.90. Ethan Hedges at third base. Tate Shamau at second. Merritt Jones at first. The Elvey fastball on the 2-0 offering in there for a strike. And the count 2-1. 7-2 Knights. The pitch is hit foul to our right into the grandstand. And for the second night in a row, our great fan, Kate, 2 nights in a row has gotten a foul ball, and she's going to give this up to a youngster in the back row just to my right. Good decision. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The right-hander's breaking ball pulled foul, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Phoenix, who has singled home a run, scored a run, singled to center. Ansoneros with an RBI ground out in the inning at first base on the excellent base running by Mason Lee. And the Knights hoping to maximize the opportunity here with 4 walks and the heads-up base running by Mason. They have the bases loaded and 2 down, leading it 7-2, looking for the big hit. The 2-2 pitch from LV, chased and missed. Strike 3 to retire the side. Phoenix going out of the zone for that one, and the Knights settle for just 1 run in the inning. Great job by Mason Lee to get it running on a 3-2 pitch and scoring on a ground out to first. The Knights leave the sacks full at the end of 4. The Knights 7 and Yakima Valley 2 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Top of the 5th inning before a nice crowd here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, looking close to 2 tonight. The first pitch to Maxim Fullerton misses down and away from Miles Gostola. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. Fullerton struck out in the 3rd. The 1-1 pitch missing for ball 2, 2-1. And we have a hitter for Maxim, Beck McGuire, at the plate against Gostola. Swings and hits one into Urchin Alley to our right. Beck McGuire getting a pinch hit opportunity here in the top of the 5th with the Knights in front, 7-2. Gostola's gone all the way, has pitched well. The left-hander back to the plate. McGuire takes the 3-2 pitch just inside for ball 4. That is the first walk issued by Gostola, so he has been, unlike his teammate and counterpart, the starter for Yakima Valley. Miles has filled up the zone. The pitch on the way from Gostola, a bunt, and a pretty good one, and nobody's home. Everybody's safe. The first baseman, Ethan Hedges, broke. Probably needed to stay home. Gostola fielded the ball, but there was nobody to get the ball to, with Hedges breaking, and there was no shot. So a beautifully placed bunt compromises the Knights' defense. Zach Blazak with the bunt single. And so here again, we look at the Pippins, just saying, okay, look, we're not going anywhere. Trying to fight back again. They scored 2 runs last inning to cut the Knights' lead to 6-2. The Knights added 1, left the bases loaded. And now the Pippins trying to come right back on their own right in the 5th. Chris Clement, the batter. Chris takes low and inside, ball 1, 1-0. 2 on, nobody out in the top of the 5th inning. 7-2 Knights. Gazdola back to the plate, delivers a strike. The count 1-1. Peyton Graham ended up walking 8 batters tonight in 3 2/3 innings. Gazdola has walked 1, struck out 6. 2 on, nobody out, top of the 5th. Miles from the stretch, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. A fly ball to right field. Sam Stem misjudged it. Now he moves in to make the catch and fires one hopper back into Tai Yukimoto, 1 away. For a moment, I thought Sam had misread it enough that it might be trouble, but he recovered quickly and makes the grab. Jace Phelan, the hitter. Jace doubled off the fence in the first. Grounded to short in his last at-bat. That's going to be all for Miles Gazdola hitting a pitch count. With Brooke Knight coming out to take the baseball away from Miles and turn to the bullpen. Jonathan Stone, I believe, is going to get the opportunity. Good outing from Miles Gazdola. I hope that we can visit with him tomorrow on our pregame show. We'll take a 2-minute in-inning pitching change break with Jonathan Stone coming in. The Pippins threatening, 2 on, 1 out, 7-2 Knights in the 5th. Back in 2 on the live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Jonathan Stone making his 11th appearance, 13 2/3, 8 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 11 walks, 5 strikeouts, no decision, an ERA of 3.95. Jonathan, the big right-hander, 6'7", 225 out of George Fox, and Roseburg delivers a change to Jace Phelan. 0-1 the count, with the Knights leading 7-2 in the top of the 5th inning. Beck McGuire at second, Zach Blazak at first. The big righty ready, and the strike 1 pitch to Phelan. In there for a strike, and he's quickly ahead, 0-2. To the Triple Crown dude for his Pippins club, leading in all three major categories. I know that these days it's a slash line and all the other things that get delivered, but I still, Triple Crown still resonates with me. Batting average, homers, RBIs. Strike two pitch, swung on and missed. Strike three. Great job by Jonathan Stone, striking out Phelan, the best hitter on this Pippins club, on 3 pitches. 2 down, Blake Baltz, the batter. Baltz has flied to center and struck out. Baltz again given a little bit of time to get to the plate. But certainly taking plenty of time before climbing in. And the Tate Shamau precedent makes me think that perhaps a strike could be called at some point against him. It shouldn't be, but the Crew had the temerity to give Shamau a strike in the bottom of the 12th the other night. Certainly Tate took less time to get to the plate than we just saw from Baltz. Just saying. Baltz fouls it away. 0-1 the count. 2 on, 2 out. The strike one pitch. Swung on and missed. Jonathan Stone has made 5 pitches. They're all strikes. Picking up for Miles Gazdola. 0-2, 2 down with 2 on in the top of the 5th. 7-2 Corvallis. The Knights trying to keep their playoff drive alive again. They're in first place in the South in the second half. They've never missed the playoffs since moving here in 2007. The strike two pitch hit sharply at second baseman Tate Shamau. He fields and throws to first. Good job by Jonathan Stone. Picking up for Miles Gazdola. No runs, a hit, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Knights 7, Yakima Valley 2. And we'll be back after this 90-second break on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Right-hander C.J. Collier, the new pitcher for the Yakima Valley Pippins, as we go to the bottom of the 5th here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Good crowd on hand. The Knights leading 7-2. We mentioned earlier the Lebanon Warrior minor national team introduced before the game. My thanks to Jay Reese for providing the information yesterday about the Portland Tigered Barbers, with 13-year founder-manager Joe Duran capturing their first Legion State of Oregon title yesterday, sweeping the host Emerald Eugene Challengers 7-6 and 10-6 at Swede Johnson. So did it on the road in the Challengers' home ballpark at North Eugene High School. The Barbers meet Idaho State champion in the Northwest Regional in Gillette. I'm not sure how that ended up, but Eugene closed at 50-8, but were knocked off by Portland Tiger, the Barbers, in yesterday's Legion State Championship. Only the second time since 2006 that the Medford Mustangs were not playing for a state banner, an 18-time state titleist. Tremendous baseball there, but supplanted this year by a team from the north. 0-1 the count to Tai Yukamoto, who has walked twice, both of his walks among the 8 issued by Peyton Graham. Collier back to the plate, and the 1-1 pitch misses outside, ball 2. C.J. Collier, the new pitcher and a two-way player for Yakima Valley. 7-2 Knights. Collier making his 9th pitching appearance. He delivers away, ball 3, 3-1. 14 innings of work on the bump, 16 hits, 10 earned runs, 12 walks, 17 strikeouts, an ERA of just over 6, and his 3-1 pitch is outside for ball 4. Tai Yukamoto's been up thrice, he's walked thrice. Ethan Hott, the batter, 7-2 Knights in the bottom of the 5th inning. If your home, office, or investment property is dirty, dingy, or worn, we encourage you to call upon family-owned All Pro Property Services. They have helped thousands of people get the best out of their properties, from investment renovations, facility services, housekeeping, and move-out cleans. All Pro Property Services has the bases covered. Visit allproproperty.net for more information. The first pitch to Ethan Hott misses, but a double take of sorts by the catcher Blake Baltz, who pumped once and then threw back to his battery mate, thinking for sure that a strike had been called. The 1-0 pitch, the right-hander Collier upset. So is the catcher. They're playing a fast game of catch, and Collier, bothered by the lack of a strike call in the previous pitch, now behind 2-0. The 2-0 fastball is in there for a strike, and the count 2-1. Nine walks issued by the combined efforts of Graham and now Collier. The pitch is low, a throw down to first from Blake Baltz. Back to the bag steps Tai Yukamoto, and the count goes to 3-1 to Ethan Hott. Ethan has the game's biggest hit, a 3-run triple in the second. There goes Yukamoto. The 3-1 pitch is swung on and missed. The throw to second is not in time. Tai Yukamoto in with a stolen base. And the Knights now with a chance to add to their lead, with Ethan Hott looking for his 4th run batted in, and if he comes up short of that, at least trying to move Tai over. Mason Lee on deck. The 3-2 pitch. Ethan gets a piece of the off-speed delivery to stay alive. Pape Material Handling keeps you moving one step closer to home. Teaming up in support of Community Outreach, Inc. with the Knights. COI is a local nonprofit dedicated to helping people lead healthy and productive lives. To learn more about One Step Closer to Home, please visit corvallisknights.com/COI, and our thanks to Pape Material Handling. Collier delivers low and away for ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued in the inning by Collier. 10 walks issued by Pippins pitching. Mason Lee, the hitter. Mason is grounded into a double play. Had a sacrifice fly, I should say, in the second, and walked last inning. Bottom of the 5th, 7-2 Knights. Mason up there to bunt, pulls the bat back and takes outside. And again, the body language from Blake Baltz indicates that Blake felt that his pitcher, Collier, had thrown a strike. It has been a pretty tight zone this evening, no question about it. The 1-0 pitch again with Lee bunting, gets it down to the left of the mound. Collier picks it up, fires to first. Good play in time. The sacrifice works. 1-3. One away on the play. Yukamoto into third. Ethan Hott to second. And Sam Stem, the batter. The infield pulled in. Sam swings and misses, 0-1 the count. Bottom of the fifth, 7-2 Knights. And the situation calling for the Pippins infield to come all the way into the edge of the green. Sam swings and misses. The count 0-2. Sam excels in these kinds of situations, the team leader in runs batted in with 33. Down in the count 0-2. And down in the count 0-3. Breaking ball got him swinging. 2 down. Sam has struck out 3 times tonight, and that'll bring to the plate Ethan Hedges. Ethan an infield single in the second and has walked in his last 2 plate appearances. Second and third, 2 down. C.J. Collier delivers. Slider for a strike to Ethan, 0-1 the count. Back-to-back walks to open the inning. And yet here's C.J. Collier now with a chance to get out of it unscathed. A hopper to the shortstop. Clement Fields throws a little low, but it's dug by Tommy Eisenstadt, and Collier recovers to put up a 0 in spite of walking the first 2 batters. The Knights can't quite deliver a knockout blow tonight. They haven't yet anyway. They leave 2 in scoring position at the end of 5. The Knights 7 and the Pippins 2 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Top of the 6th inning, 7-2 Knights. Jonathan Stone filling up the zone. The right-hander's first pitch in there for a strike to Josh Hankins. Jonathan retired the 2 batters that he faced last inning. Comes with a strike 1 pitch, knee high, strike 2. 0-2 the count. Josh Hankins, Tommy Eisenstadt, and Owen Egan in the 6th. Jonathan strike 2, breaking ball, a comebacker slowed on the try by Stone to the shortstop, Yukamoto, who throws him out. 1-6-3 on the hard shot back up the middle. Jonathan Stone went down and got a little piece of the baseball, and that gave Yukamoto a chance to range to his left and throw out Josh Hankins. 1-6-3, 1 away in the 6th. Tommy Eisenstadt, the batter. Tommy swings a dunker into shallow left center. Going out is Yukamoto to grab that one. Perfectly positioned for the second out. Quickly 2 down in the top of the 6th. Owen Egan, a 2-run double in his last at-bat, driving in the lone runs tonight for the Pippins, steps to the plate. If you live or work in one of the 24 western or central Oregon counties, you're entitled to membership privileges and the full financial services of Oregon State Credit Union. Egan takes a breaking ball from Jonathan Stone for a strike. 0-1 the count, 2 down, nobody on. 7-2 Knights in the 6th. The strike 1 pitch misses up and in. Oregon State Credit Union was the proud title sponsor of our big fireworks show on July 2nd. They invest in all of our communities, and the Oregon State Credit Union dedicated to creating financial solutions toward making local lives better. The 1-1 pitch, wide of the plate to the backstop. 2-1 the count. Jonathan back with a 2-1 pitch. Egan a little out in front of it. Hits that towards the front entrance to Waldo Hall, way off to the left and out of play. Randy Williams, sitting below me here, knows of Waldo Hall. He graduated with Steve Priest from Oregon State in 1969. The 2-2 pitch to the backstop. Ball 3. 3-2 to Owen Egan. 2 down, nobody on in the 6th. Jonathan Stone has retired all 4 batters that he's faced on in relief of Miles Gazzola. The 3-2 fastball swung on and missed, strike 3. And Stone retires the Pippins in order. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Knights 7 and Yakima Valley 2 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. C.J. Collier works Anson Arrows high and away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 7-2 Knights. The 1-0 pitch. Anson takes low and in. Ball 2. 2-0. Anson has sacrificed, struck out, and had an RBI ground out to first, on which Mason Lee scored from second. The 2-0 pitch foul back, the count 2-1 to Anson. Anson Arrows, Tate Shamau, and Merritt Jones against C.J. Collier. Fastball slashed back of the plate, foul again, 2-2 the count. Talking about Rick Wise earlier. Wise is an interesting character in baseball history. Not only the no-hitter wherein he hit 2 home runs. The 2-2 pitch on the way, hit foul off to the left. Wise was also traded for 2 Hall of Famers. I mean, the things that he experienced in his baseball life, retiring 32 batters in a row. He was also, as Arrows hits a fly ball to left field and playable, Owen Egan is right there, backs up a little bit to make the catch. 1 away. There are various games, not many, but you'll see here and there essays, you'll see in baseball anthologies, baseball writers weigh in and talk about, quote, the greatest game ever played, unquote. Tate Shamau fouls one back. The playoff game, Red Sox, Yankees 73, the Bucky Dent game, has been declared by Thomas Boswell to be the greatest game ever played. The strike 1 pitch, a foul tip by Shamau, and the count 0-2. There are many, though, and I think I would lean more towards the one I'm about to reference than the 78 playoff game, although that was stirring for so many reasons. The strike two pitch missing high in the count 1-2 to Shamau. 7-2 Knights, bottom of the sixth. One out, nobody on. C.J. Collier back to the plate. Fastball hit slowly by the mound, charged by Clement. Chris up with it and throws a strike over to first. Two down. Merritt Jones, the batter. And that would be Game 6 of the 1975 World Series, the Carlton Fisk Wave It Fair home run game. Many people have considered that the greatest game ever played. Everybody knows Fisk hit the home run. The Bernie Carbo had the pinch hit 3-run homer to give the Red Sox life in that classic game. The winning pitcher in Game 6, arguably the greatest game ever played, was none other than Rick Wise. Merritt Jones, a fly ball to center. Connor Kincaid backs up, makes the catch. The inning is over. And along the way, Rick Wise found himself traded for Steve Carlton prior to the 1972 season. And then in 1978, traded by the Red Sox to the Cleveland Indians for a pitcher by the name of Dennis Eckersley. That's quite a career for the pride of Madison High in Portland, Little League World Series team in Portland, Rick Wise, whose name has been invoked today thanks to Shohei Ohtani's exploits as a pitcher and hitter. The Knights will turn to their bullpen. We have a 2-minute pitching change break coming with the Knights leading at the end of 6. The Knights 7, the Pippins 2. Back in 2 on 1240 Joe Radio. Cameron Rowe out of Utah Valley is the Knights' new pitcher, Rancho Bernardo High School. And Cameron takes over here in the 7th. Through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Corvallis Knights, 7 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Yakima Valley Pippins, 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Cameron Rowe's first pitch swung on and missed by Connor Kincaid. The 0-1 change swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. Jonathan Stone was excellent, retiring 5 straight hitters. And now the right-hander, Cameron Rowe, with a count of no balls and 2 strikes, just his second appearance, started with the Knights, shut it down, went home. And now back to help the Knights in the stretch drive. The strike 2 pitch in the turf. Check swing, no swing, 1-2 the count. Cameron pitched just one other ball game. Gave up a hit and a strikeout in his 1 inning of work previously, but good to have him back. Cameron's 1-2 pitch on the way, outside, ball 2, 2-2. Connor Kincaid has struck out swinging and looking and just about struck out again moments ago. Now Cameron back to the plate with a 2-2 pitch to Kincaid. Popped up on the right side. First baseman Ethan Hedges will defer to Tate Shamau. The second baseman puts it away at the rim. Straight away second, one away. And Beck McGuire, the hitter. Beck has struck out, actually walked in the 5th inning. Maxim Fullerton struck out in the 3rd. The pitch just misses. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. In the 7th, the Knights leading 7-2. Miles Gostola giving way to Jonathan Stone, who retired all 5 batters that he faced. Now Cameron Rowe, welcome back. Ground ball to short. Yukamoto between hops, finds the right one and throws over to Ethan Hedges. 2 down in the 7th. Zach Blazak, the batter. Rowe and Ansoneros, the Knights' battery. Ethan Hedges at first, Tate Shamau at second, Ty Yukamoto at short, Mason Lee at third, Ethan Hott in left, Phoenix Call in center, Sam Stem in right. The 1923 Game 1 of the World Series, first World Series game in the house that Ruth built, was declared by the sports writers of that time, Damon Runyon, Grantland Rice, others who covered the game as, quote, the greatest World Series game ever, greatest baseball game ever, won on an inside-the-park home run by Casey Stengel, upstaging the Bambino in the first World Series game in Yankee Stadium. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 1-1, and so we've come full circle in talking about Shohei Ohtani today. Hard to mention him without mentioning the only other that can really be spoken in the same breath, namely George Herman Ruth. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed, the count 1-2. Cameron Rowe trying to set him down in order. The right-hander back to the plate. The 1-2 pitch is bounced. That evens the count to Blazak at 2-2. Zach, with a couple of infield singles, a bunt single in his last at-bat, has grounded out. 2-2 the count to Blazak. 2 down and nobody on. The Knights leading 7-2, trying to win the series after spotting the Pippins Game 1 on Tuesday. Cameron rocks, kicks, and comes to the plate. Hit foul off third. This is carrying toward those Lebanon kids. A dad falls back against one of the rows of bleachers, and one of those Lebanon Warrior minor national state champion kids comes up with a baseball and a big round of applause. All those kids are in uniform. It's a sweet sight here at the ballpark. 2-2 the count to Zach Blazak. 2 down, nobody on. Cameron Rowe to the plate, and that's hit foul over the McGrath family press box. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rudy York had a 2 Grand Slam game on this date in baseball history in 1946. The 2-2 change. Swung on and missed. Cameron Rowe looking good. Welcome back, Cameron. He strikes out Zach Blazak to retire the side in order. Rudy York, 2 Grand Slams, July 27th of 46, driving in 10 runs. Dwayne Kuiper, the outstanding broadcaster for the Giants, former player, had 2 bases-loaded triples in an Indians victory over the Yankees on this date in 1978. We go to the bottom of the 7th, the Knights 7, the Pippins 2 on the Knights live stream, and 1240 Joe Radio. Phoenix call at the plate for the Knights. Bottom of the 7th, working against C.J. Collier. First pitch, a strike to Phoenix. The 0-1 offering, swung on and tapped foul. 0-2 the count. Phoenix is 2 for 3. Collier comes back and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Phoenix with Tai Yukamoto on deck. Ethan Hott to follow. A 6-run second propelling the Knights to a big lead early. Breaking ball just missed, grazing Phoenix Call's jersey. Up and in, ball 2. 2-2. Collier back to the plate. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball fouled at the plate. Phoenix stays up there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on the raffle. Here, the winning raffle numbers to be announced here in a moment. The 2-2 pitch to Phoenix is swung on and missed, strike 3, as well as trying to learn what the final attendance is, the official figure. It looks like a crowd 2+ perhaps. I think it might be right at 2 or a little bit above. It's cooled off considerably. Looking around the ballpark, seeing a lot of jackets and hoodies going on. Tai Yukamoto takes low and in, ball 1, 1-0 from C.J. Collier. I'm going to ask a question of my family here. What is the Bend AQI? I'm worried. I hear there's smoke in Central Oregon. I love Bend. I love Vince Ginn. I love the ballpark. I hope that they're not, and that we are thus also not dealing with that over the weekend. So Lydia is checking right now, but I heard something today on the news about fires in Central Oregon. Swinging bunt out in front of the plate. Good play by the catcher, Blake Baltz, who fires a strike to first to Tommy Eisenstadt, 2 down. Baltz did a nice job to jump on it. 2 down and nobody on, and Ethan Hott, the batter. What does it say?
85, air quality alert until 3:15 Friday. Air quality alert.
So what is the number now? Yeah, an AQI of 85. Ooh, that's high. It's too bad. That's such a gorgeous spot in the world, but so afflicted by fires these past summers. And well, here comes a quick working C.J. Collier. The 1-0 pitch, missing, ball 2, 2-0. Ethan Hott has walked, tripled home 3, flied to center and walked. Boy, these guys don't waste any time. C.J. Collier delivers. Fastball for a strike, and the count 2-1. 2 down, nobody on, bottom of the 7th. Collier ready to go. Rocks and comes back to the plate. Back-to-back pitches dropped by Blake Baltz, and this one misses for ball 3, 3-1. 3-1 to Ethan. Mason Lee on deck. Collier to the plate. 3-1 fastball in there for a strike, and the count 3-2. The Knights in Bend tomorrow. There's an air quality alert until 3:15 tomorrow afternoon. Breaking ball down and away. Ball 4. Ethan Hott draws a 2-out free pass. The 11th walk issued by Yakima Valley pitching tonight. Mason Lee to the plate. Mason with a sacrifice fly in the 2nd, a sacrifice bunt in the 5th. 7-2 Knights, bottom of the 7th inning. Collier to the plate, down and away, ball 1, 1-0. Collier was ready to go again. I mean, he got the ball back, was in the stretch position, ready to pitch. The home plate umpire, whoa, he slows him down a little bit. Kind of the counter pitch clock. Fastball for a strike from Collier, and the count 1-1. Lanky Suanoa here tonight, the Oregon State defensive line coach. Camp just around the corner. The 1-1 pitch, down and away, ball 2. The Beavers picked 5th in the official media poll in the Pac-9. Pac-12. I guess it's not quite the Pac-9 yet, but There goes Hott. Ground ball to short. Clement's only play is to first. He throws a little bit high, but coming down on the bag is Eisenstadt, and Mason Lee is retired. No runs, no hits, a man left. We go to the 8th. 2,058. We were close. It's 2,058 in the ballpark. Thought we were right around that mark. 2058. We go to the 8th. The Knights 7 and the Pippins 2 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Getting a little bit chilly here. 2,058, a good crowd. Some beginning to pack up and leave because of that fact. With the Knights leading the Pippins 7-2. Cameron Rowe ready to go to Yakima Valley shortstop Chris Clement. Cameron retired the side in order last inning. Delivers a first pitch knee-high fastball strike to Clement. Chris has struck out twice and flied to right field. The 0-1 pitch hit in the air to left center field. This will carry into the wind. Going back on it, though, and finding it. Phoenix Call to make the catch out in left center field. That strong breeze blowing out to left center pushed it, but Phoenix Call, with a good jump, a good read, grabs it for the out. One away. Jace Phelan, the hitter. Doubled off the fence in left field in the first inning, has since grounded to short and struck out. Cameron Rowe to the plate and misses low, ball one. The Knights bullpen, Jonathan Stone and Cameron Rowe, after a good outing for Miles Gostola, but the bullpen has not allowed a base runner. The pitch to Phelan, pop foul off third. A playable baseball from Mason Lee, who backhands it on the warning track in foul territory on the left side. 2 down. Cameron Rowe has retired 5 in a row. Jonathan Stone retired all 5 batters that he faced. And that brings Blake Baltz to the plate. Blake is 0 for 3. The Knights scoring 6 runs in the second inning. The key blow, the 3-run triple by Ethan Hott, who was also walked 3 times. The crew tonight will need to begin to talk over the Washington Park Advisors player of the game. Blake Baltz swings and misses, 0-1 the count. I would probably lean guys to Ethan with that 3-run triple, the key swing of the night. But we will discuss further in these last couple of innings. The strike one pitch hit foul off third. This will carry into the lower grandstand below the TNT Builders party deck. No balls and 2 strikes to Blake Baltz. 2 outs, nobody on in the 8th. before 2058. We'll be in Bend tomorrow night. The Bend Elks live stream. Yours truly joining Blake Neiman. The games will be carried here on Joe Radio. The strike two pitch missing down and away. 6:35 tomorrow night, 6:35 Saturday, 5:05 on Sunday. 1-2 to Blake Baltz. 2 outs, nobody on in the 8th. Cameron Rowe trying for another 1-2-3 inning. Ground ball back at first, and he'll get it. Ethan Hedges fields, runs it to the bag, and Cameron Rowe has retired 6 straight. Rowe and Stone combined have retired 11 straight Pippins. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The night 7, Yakima Valley 2 on the night's live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Wyatt Adams out of Walla Walla's Whitman College from Max Engelbrecht country, Bishop Blanchet High School in Seattle. Right-hander will take over on the hill for the Yakima Valley Pippins here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 7-2 Knights. Sam Stem, Ethan Hedges, and Anson Arrows, the scheduled hitters. The Knights are 3 outs away from winning their second straight game, and it would be 15 out of 16 if they're able to get those final 3. They're looking for a little bit of insurance here against Wyatt Adams. 6'4", 210-pounder, loosening up with his battery mate Blake Baltz. One other note on this date in baseball history, and it also brings to mind baseball literature and reading, and one of those articles you read as a young kid that stays with you for a lifetime. The title itself captured my imagination as a kid. But on this date in 1905, 118 years ago today, one of the more colorful characters in the history of the game was born. His name was Leo DeRocher. Fascinating baseball life, really, for Leo the Lip. Well, one of the things that made an impression on me in first beginning to read about this great game was an article, I think in Sport Magazine. I remember seeing it when it came out in 1970. And it was by William Barry Furlong, and it was headlined, "How DeRocher Blew the Pennant." The blame of an 8.5 game lead for the Cubs in the summer of '69 laid at Leo's feet for his handling of the pitching staff, for making the Cubs players all very nervous. Sam Stem swings, good contact, ground ball to third. Zach Blazak, a nice play, and throws Sam out, 1 gone. Ethan Hedges, the batter. That Leo ran too hot that year, that he panicked. A little bit of the same things were hurled as accusations at Gene Mauch 5 years earlier in Philly. But how DeRocher blew the pennant. I remember thinking, wow, that's an interesting. I'm going to read this article. And William Barry Furlong spelled out the case and said that he laid the blame of that collapse by the Cubs not on a miracle by the Mets, but on Leo's panicking. Ethan Hedges takes a strike and the count 0-1. 7-2 Knights, bottom of the 8th inning. Wyatt Adams, good breaking ball, but just missed. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Adams making his 10th appearance. He's started 4 games for Yakima Valley. Bounces his breaking ball to the backstop. 19 2/3 innings, 21 hits, 10 earned, 19 walks, 11 strikeouts, a record of 1-2, an ERA of 4.57. Behind the count to Ethan Hedges, 2-1. The Knights leading 7-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Adams kicks and delivers a ground ball to second, fielded by Josh Hankins. Josh throws to first for out number 2. Anson Arrows will come to the plate. 2 down, nobody on, bottom of the 8th. The Knights, on the strength of a 6-run second inning, have been cruising along for the most part in this ball game. 6 runs in the second. Ethan Hott, a bases clearing 3-run triple, the key swing of this ball game. And the Knights have received excellent pitching from Miles Gazzola, Jonathan Stone, and Cameron Rowe. And whether there's another one yet to be in the 9th, we'll see. Over the top fastball for a strike from Wyatt Adams. No balls and a strike. Wyatt comes back with the 0-1 pitch, and that's drilled to the alley into left center field. Good swing by Arrows. This will be an extra base hit. Anson is thinking about 3. In fact, he's on his way to third. The relay from Clement, not in time. A triple for Anson Arrows. The second triple of the night for the Knights, and Anson Arrows showing outstanding athletic ability. First of all, the swing itself with power to the opposite field for the switch hitting catcher, and then good speed getting over to third with a 2-out triple, bringing Tate Shamau to the plate. The Knights looking for a little bit of insurance here with 2 down, leading 7-2. Wyatt Adams comes set. Delivers, and a looper into shallow right field. It'll drop for a base hit. Anson Arrows comes down the line to score. Tate Shamau an RBI single. The Knights lead it 8-2. Just like that, seemingly out of nowhere. 2 outs, nobody on. A triple for Arrows, a base hit for Shamau. Merritt Jones, the batter. Merritt has been aboard on a fielder's choice, struck out, walked, and plied to center. 8 runs, 8 hits for the Knights. 2 runs, 6 hits for Yakima Valley. Merritt swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back. 0-1 the count. The Lebanon Warrior Minor National State Championship team going through with the Les Schwab tire bags and collecting the evening's detritus. The strike 1 pitch misses high, or garbage, another word perhaps could be applied. But it's being gathered by the youngsters in uniform who were introduced before the ball game tonight. Danson Mike threw out the first pitch to considerable acclaim. The 1-1 pitch, a ground ball slowly to short. Clement will go the short way to Josh Hankins at second for the force to retire the side. But a triple by Arrows, a base hit by Shamau. The Knights add 1 to take with them to the top of the 9th inning. We're going to see now if Cameron Rowe is going to get a chance to finish the job or whether the Knights will go to the bullpen, waiting to see what the case may be. If it's the latter, we would take 2, but I think it's going to be Cameron Rowe with a chance to finish it, which means he would get a save upon his return if he finishes things up. So it will be Cameron Rowe. We'll take a 90-second final break of the night. The Knights 8 and the Pippins 2 back in 90 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Eight to 2 Knights, top of the ninth inning. Cameron Rowe misses with the first pitch to Josh Hankins. 1-0 the count. The Knights 3 outs away from winning the series. It would be their 5th straight series win. Line drive over the leaping try of Tate Shamau into right center field. Base hit. Phoenix Call gets the ball back in. Hankins has had a good couple of nights. Swung the bat well. It's a line drive base hit for his second multiple hit game of the series. Tommy Eisenstadt, the batter. He's flied to left, singled to center, and scored a run and popped to short. That's the first base runner that the Knights bullpen has allowed. Jonathan Stone and Cameron Rowe had combined to retire 11 straight Pippins batters. The first pitch to Eisenstadt fouled at the plate in the count 0-1. Eight to 2 Knights, top of the ninth inning. A leadoff single for Josh Hankins. Cameron Rowe, the right-hander out of Utah Valley, comes back to the plate. The 0-1 pitch misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomorrow night in Bend. Not Baltimore, with apologies to Roger Miller, but tomorrow night in Bend. Yours truly working alongside of Blake Neiman, a young man who interned here with the Knights last summer and has gotten himself a good job with the Bend Elks. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed. A back pick attempt by Encineros. Josh Hankins just does get back. 1-2 to Tommy Eisenstadt. So I'll have the pleasure of working alongside Blake tomorrow night and Saturday night, and then Sunday early evening, 5:05. And just 3 home games remain in the regular season for the Knights next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cameron Rowe comes to Tommy Eisenstadt. A ground ball to Tate Shamau. Feeds Yokomoto for 1. On to first, not in time. The ball hit too slowly for the Knights to get 2 out of it, but they do get the lead runner on the fielder's choice, 4-6. Shamau to Yokomoto, 1 away, and Owen Egan to the plate. Egan has the 1 big swing of the night for the Pippins, a 2-run double back in the 4th. The base hit here in the 9th, just the 2nd hit since the 4th inning for Yakima Valley. 8 to 2 Knights, top of the 9th inning. Cameron to the plate, swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Connor Kincaid, the on-deck hitter. The Knights looking for the last 2 outs in this one before their leisurely journey across the pass tomorrow. The pitch is popped up on the left side of the infield. The Knights need to communicate. Racing over is Ethan Hedges, cutting in front of Ty Yukamoto, who I think lost the ball on the way up. And Hedges makes a good catch behind the mound. Yukamoto didn't read it well off the bat and then had too much turf to cover. Hedges did a nice job to stay with it, kind of recognizing the situation, and makes the catch on the left side of the diamond coming over from first. 2 down, Connor Kincaid, the hitter. Cameron Rowe and the Knights an out away from an impressive victory here tonight. Cameron delivers. First pitch fastball a little bit low, ball 1, 1-0. The Knights with 6 in the second, 1 in the fourth, and 1 in the eighth. The Pippins' only runs coming in the fourth inning. The pitch on the way to Kincaid, foul back, and the count 1-1. $2,058 in the final game of this brief 3-game homestand. Bobblehead night for yours truly a week from tomorrow night. Fireworks a week from Saturday. And Fan Appreciation Day on Sunday. Off speed, lifted high in the air down the left field side, heading towards the TNT Builders party deck and in foul territory. Racing over is Ethan Hott. Ethan tries to make the catch. He caught it, and he crashed into a wall. I hope Ethan's okay. Ethan Hott has just made a great catch to end the game, but he went out of our vision. Whether there was a camera on the live stream or not, I don't know. Ethan Hott made the catch. The game is over, but he is down on his haunches with Brooke Knight and trainer Michaela heading down to see if Ethan's going to be okay. And all of Ethan Hott's teammates heading down that way too. A great catch by Ethan Hott. The ball appeared to be heading towards the TNT Builders party deck, and then somehow Ethan Hott racing stayed with it, made the catch, and whether he crashed into, there's a bench down in the corner just outside the Jacoby Ellsbury clubhouse, and whatever it is he crashed into, he is in some pain right now and being attended to by Brooke Knight and Michaela, the team trainer. Ethan Hott just made the great catch to end the game. He's just been announced as the Washington Park Advisors player of the game, but that certainly is secondary at the moment to Ethan's condition. We'll keep things here until we see some sort of resolution for Ethan, who still has not gotten up after giving it his whole heart and soul and racing over to the baseball, not giving up on a foul down the line, going full speed, and then I think crashing into the bench adjacent to the Jacoby Ellsbury clubhouse. Ethan gets up. He's on his feet. He's walking gingerly, a bit slowly. It appears to be his left shin area that has been tended to, but he's putting full weight and power on both of his legs, and now is meeting with his teammates to celebrate the win down the left field line. Brooke and Michaela talk about what the next plan of action will be. Perhaps some treatment coming, whether it's an abrasion of some sort, I don't know. But it's so good to see Ethan Hott on his feet and walking back in after laying out and sacrificing his body, going full speed and running into a bench, I believe, right below the TNT Builders party deck in the left field corner. We'll have more tomorrow and have an update perhaps tomorrow when we get to Bend on Ethan's situation. But a 3-run triple for Ethan Hott and the game-clinching catch brings this one to a close. The Knights defeating Yakima Valley 8-2 to win the series. We'll be back with you tomorrow in Bend. Yours truly with Blake Neiman. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a good night at the ballpark. And in the end for the Knights, another series win. That's 5 in a row. Our thanks to United Way tonight and Calapooia Brewing Thirsty Thursday, presented by United Way of Lynn, Benton, and Lincoln counties, and Calapooia Brewing here this evening. The Knights won at 8-2. My thanks to Thomas Rudolph, Andrew Henderson, and Casey Lavin, Garrett Dworshak, and Dale Hummel. This is Mike Parker from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, thanking you for joining us. Again, our final score: the Knights won the series, beating the Pippins 8-2 on the Knights live stream. Talk to you in Bend tomorrow night on 1240 Joe Radio. So long, everybody.